Hello and welcome. I'm Bio, and today I'm talking about another game. Just like I talked about Seven Blades, I thought, hey, why not? People seem to like that video, so let's talk about another game that I recently finished. And that game being Onechanbara Z2 Chaos. Now, however you want to pronounce it, whether it be Onechanbara or Onechanbara, whatever, I don't care. The newest game in the newest entry in the series is Onechanbara. I believe the original Japanese translation is Onechanbara as well, but in the West, for some reason, Onechanbara is how it is spelt. I don't know. But yeah, I recently played through this game to completion. My kind of completion, in other words, I finished the story. And yeah, I'm going to be talking about it today because, again, you know, Seven Blades did better than I thought. Seven Blades was going to be like a one-off kind of thing, but here we are. I've got the OST of Onechanbara Z2 Chaos playing in the background. There's some good songs on there, by the way. Some good music on there. Ichiban wa Mi and Two Deadly Girls. Excellent songs. I'm definitely adding them to my car playlist. Definitely going to be listening to them while driving to work. Really good songs. So yeah, let's start with Onechanbara Z2 Chaos. So I'm gonna give you my kind of like history with the series going forward. Obviously, it's developed by Tamsoft, published by D3, and so on and so forth. Came out on PS4 first, then on PC. It's technically a sequel to a previous game called Onechanbara. I'm going to keep calling it Onechanbara. Onechanbara Z2, which came out for 360 originally, and then it got a PS3 version, which had an extra playable character called No. I believe, something like that. Don't know who that character is, not a clue. I'm going to talk about some strange decisions as well by D3, but that'll be towards the end of the video. So my experience with the Onechanbara series is that I've played some of the older games because at one point in time I was going through all of the Simple 2000 series. I was going through pretty much all of the Simple series games, and obviously that means I was getting to play Zombie Zone, Zombie Hunters, and Zombie Hunters 2, which of course are all a part of the Onechanbara series. They are the original Onechanbara games. So I played, obviously, a little bit of them, and I didn't really think much of them, for considering that they got released in, like, 2000, like, the first one came out in 2005, and, you know, it wasn't exactly quite there in terms of, like, the hack-and-slash 3D combat that I would expect for a game that came out in 2005, personally, but it is what it is. Considering you've got games that came out before that, like, I don't know, just to give a reference, Seven Samurai 20XX, which I'm playing at the moment, which has its ups and downs, which I'm hoping to do a video on that as well, once I finish the game. But then obviously with Seven Blades, the combat's actually fairly decent, in my opinion, at least with Gokumaru. So for me to play like some of the PS2 games and be like, wow, this definitely feels like a budget game, and I guess that's what they were going for. But fast forward to where we are right now, well, not right now, but back in like 2014 or 2016 when this game came out. I think 2014 the game came out on PS4, and 2016 and on PC. Just from what my memory serves me, I'm not looking at anything. This is by far the best Onechanbara game that you can get your hands on. I'm going to put that out there. I'm going to emphasize right there, right now. It is the most fun, the most hectic, the most chaotic. Chaos in the title of the game? Yes, correct. That is where it belongs. It is in the title of the game, and yes, it is chaotic. But it doesn't completely get a pass because of that. And I'm going to get into that. The game is fun. The game is very, very fun. So starting out, I'm not going to go into the story at all in this video, because at the end of the day, there is basically no story anyway, and I'll tell you why there isn't in a minute. But I don't like spoiling stories regardless. It doesn't matter if there's no real story in the game. I hate it when people do a review. This is not a review. This is me just ranting about the game more than anything. I hate it when people do a video on a game and they talk about the story and say, skip to this part if you want to avoid the story spoilers and blah blah. And I'm like, just don't talk about the story. Just don't talk about it, right? That's just my stance on it. Just don't talk about it. right? You don't want to spoil the story for the viewers. Don't talk about it. Most people don't care. They don't care about playing the game. They watch the video to be entertained because they are tiny bit interested in something that they might have heard from a friend. Or, I remember seeing this game on store shelves. I wonder what it's like. Something like that, right? They realistically have got no plans to play it. At least that's how I view it. And when I watch a game review on YouTube, that's what I get. I'm literally like, I'm not going to play this game. When am I going to play this? I'm not going to play it. So, at the end of the day, why even tell me, oh, story spoilers? Just don't include the story. And if I really am that interested, I'll look it up. Or I'll play the game myself. So, yeah, the story is quite minuscule in this game. It's very basic, but... yeah, I guess why there's no real format to these videos. I don't have cliff notes or anything. I don't have any bullet points. I'm just talking out of my ass, basically. So the story is basically 4 girls fight zombies. They banter throughout the entire game. Like, they banter. The best part of the game is them interacting with each other. It's just, there's a lot of banter, and it's good banter, you know, to be honest with you. And they're fighting zombies to take on a big bad guy. That is basically... so it's cut and dry. It's very simple. There's obviously a lot more to it than that, but I'm not going to get into the intricacies of the story because there's no point. If you're interested, play the game yourself or watch the cutscenes on YouTube. One of those two. All right? So, realistically, straight off the get-go, you don't play this game for the story, because, let's be honest, you probably don't care. You play the game for the gameplay, and the gameplay is good. So, you have 4 playable characters you can play as: Kagura, Saki, Seiya. I think her name's Seiya. I keep forgetting what her bloody name is, because I never used her in the game. And you have Aya, which is obviously the main character from the previous games. Saki is her sister. Kagura is the new character that got introduced in the previous game that we obviously didn't get, and Seiya is her sister. They're a part of a vampiric clan, which basically they're vampires, I think, something along those lines. Again, they talk about a lot. I'm not going to go into the story massively. I don't want to talk about story things, but they go. I'm just going to tell you this. If you've got no familiarity with the Onechanbara series, which I'm very, very loosely involved in the series, you know what I mean? You're going to be confused in some occasions, because they'll be talking about characters that you don't know. Why does this character mean this to you? Who is this character? Why do you care? You don't get told these things because these are things that you should know because of you playing previous games, which obviously you haven't done if you're a fan of the Western. If you're a Westerner fan, if you're a Japanese fan, that's different. If you're a Westerner fan, fuck you. So yeah, so you'll get confused at times. So when I say like Kagura is vampiric, it's literally like right at the beginning of the game you find this information out, so I won't worry about it. So she and her sister are part of the vampiric clan. They're vampires, and Aya and Saki are part of the Baneful Blood clan, which hunt vampires, right? And that's all you really need to know about the main characters. They generally, again, they hunt vampires, right? It's in the fucking name, right? So for these 2 sets of characters, these 4 characters to be working together in the game is kind of unheard of. But they work together for XYZ reasons, right? And so because of that, you have 4 playable characters to pick from. You have Kagura, you have Saki, Seiya, and Aya. And all of them play fairly decently, except for Seiya. I'm not a big fan of Seiya's moveset. She uses a chainsaw. The chainsaw is quite slow. I'm not a massive fan of it. Her secondary weapon, which is like gauntlets, that's not too bad, but then why would I use that when I can use Saki? Saki's main weapon is gauntlets, and her secondary weapon is a katana, really long katana. Really good moveset. Kagura's moveset is, if I remember correctly, twin katanas and also twin daggers. Her moveset's pretty decent. And Aya, she has basically 2 katanas, and her moveset is either she uses only 1 katana or she uses both katanas. That's it. And yeah, like I said, it controls really well. It's very flashy. The combat in the game is very, very flashy. And you'll be moving from area to area, fighting zombies along the way, different variants of zombies. always bringing up the age-old question of, that zombie knows how to fire a gun? How? Zombies are stupid. They shouldn't be able to know how to fire guns. But then again, I guess it's just how it is in this world for zombies. And yeah, you just go along, you fight zombies, you dash around, do combos, and it's a blast. It's a lot of fun, I will admit. It's probably one of the more flashy, fun, like hack and slash kind of games that you can pick up and play. And it's easy. It's not difficult. I died a few times playing through the game, but it's a fairly easy romp to get through. And I played through the game on normal. I'm pretty sure, unlike Origin, which only has like a normal difficulty, you can play this game on easy difficulty, so there is a lower difficulty, and there is lots of places where you can restore your health and so on and so forth, in various chapters and stages. So yeah, that's the combat. I guess if you want me to go into more depth about the combat, right? We're trying to use it. Like, let's use PlayStation 4 controls. The square button is like the main sword attack. The triangle button is like a unarmed attack. Normally it's like a kick or something like that. X jumps. Circle does like a side weapon thing. It depends. Yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. I very rarely use the circle move, if I'm being completely honest with you. And then you have a special move which can be activated with triangle and circle. Not all special moves are equal. The best special move is Saki's. Again, she's my favorite character to play as, and she has the best special move in my opinion. After that, I would say the next best special move is probably Kaguya's. Yeah, Kaguya is good at hitting, like doing strong attacks against enemies at a distance, whereas Aya's is like a spinning attack that, if you're surrounded, is quite useful. Saya's, on the other hand, is shit. She punches the ground and these like crystal spike things come up, and it's like, yeah, it's not great. Especially if you don't aim it correctly, and it moves for somewhat slowly. Keep in mind, when you're using Saki's special move, you could just, if you suddenly want to change direction, boom, you just quickly do a 180 and she's still slashing away at the direction of the zombies that you now want to hit because you've killed the ones that are in front of you. Kaguya is exactly the same. Obviously, Aya doesn't matter because she does a spinning attack and obviously it just attacks everything in a close range. Saya, on the other hand, her move takes forever to move around. So let's say you start her move, you knock out the zombies in front, but her move's still continuing. You can't just quickly just move her and her special move to attack more zombies, because it does move to the left or the right, but it's slow. Why it's like this, I don't know. She is unfortunately the worst character in the game. You can go into, obviously, if you have the I'll try to word it better now. So, as you attack zombies, you'll get blood on your blade, and if you get too much blood on your blade, it becomes ineffective and it'll get stuck inside the zombies. So every now and then, there'll be a meter on screen. You've got to keep an eye on it, and basically press, I think it's the L1 button, from what memory serves me, and it'll basically get all the blood off the blade. And then finally, there is a lock-on button, which is R1, and while you're locked on, you can press the X button in left, right, or backwards to do different dodge techniques. Useful, quite useful. And then finally, you can also go into your special mode, which I think is exclusive to this game. I'm not going to tell you how you achieve that mode. For Kagura and Saya, it's called like the dare dive mode or something, and for Aya and Saki, it's called ecstatic mode. It's basically like Dante going into his devil trigger, if you want a reference or similarity. You go into your devil trigger and you do more damage and you look different and it's cool and you're fast and moves are slightly different. Not much, but slightly. At least they felt slightly. I don't know if they are actually different, but they're slightly different. And that's cool, but you don't get that from the get-go. You have to unlock it along the way, so on and so forth. And yeah, the combat is fun. It's good. It's good to hit zombies. It feels solid. It's I don't know what else to say besides. It is just dumb fun kind of hack and slash gameplay. And that's brilliant. I love stuff like that. If only it was paired with a really funny, interesting story. Like, if you're going to have over-the-top characters like this that banter all the time, at least have interesting things happen in your story. And again, I'm not going to talk about the story, but I'm going to just say the story is not great. It is not great at all. It is very basic, And to me, it brings the experience down as a whole. That's just my opinion. So, what else is there to say about the game? So, obviously, you have stat tunes that you can go to. They don't always appear on every level, but you go there and you can buy items to heal and so on and so forth. You can also go these stat tunes to upgrade, unlock new combos, which, yeah, your characters won't be particularly great to start off with, but once you start unlocking combos and that, you'll start noticing that they get better and better. I don't mind this as much, but it's definitely a difference, and once you'll probably see from the footage, because this footage I'll end up putting up on screen is recorded after I beat the game. All of their all of their combos have been unlocked, all of their weapons have been unlocked, because of just how I tend to do things in video games. So it's a lot more flashy, a lot more, and it's a lot more fun. That's the key thing, it's a lot more fun. Whereas earlier in the game, when you just didn't have that many combos to play around with, it was fun, but to me, I don't understand the point of locking combos behind. Oh, but you need a progression system. Do you, though? Do you? Let's use Devil May Cry, for example. Right? I'll use Devil May Cry, for example. The same thing happens in Devil May Cry 3, because it's like one of my favorite games on the PS2. But even in Devil May Cry 3, I don't understand it. It doesn't make no sense. It makes sense when you get new weapons. That's fine. I have no issue with that. It's a brand new weapon. Dante's never used it before, right? So for there to be combos that he's learning along the way and you unlock, fair enough. But for Renquem, his main sword, all of the combos should be unlocked from the get-go. It's his main fucking weapon. He's not dyslexic. He's not a fucking retard. He knows how to use the sword. Don't lock combos out of him. Don't lock combos away from him with the excuse of progression. It's not progression. He's not a fucking retard. He knows how to use his own fucking sword. He's had it for years, right? And the same applies for these characters. These characters, right, in this game, Onechanbara Z2 Chaos, they are familiar with their weapons. They've been using their weapons for what I would assume to be years, right? There's no reason for them not to know these combos. If they were saying, if it was more of like a Kazuma Kiryu moment where they were getting inspired by, I don't know, something a zombie did, I wouldn't have an issue with it. I wouldn't. I'll be like, okay, fair enough. They've learned a new move that way and you've then got to pay to unlock it. Fair enough. But no, it's nothing like that. It's nothing as interesting or inquisitive as that or whatever. So it's just locking you out of potential even further fun, having more insane combos just for this the point of yellow orbs, which you've got to get. Basically, it's basically the currency in the game. So it's irritating. That's one irritating thing. Then the weapons, there's just more damage really than anything. The weapons, and obviously they look different. So I didn't really focus on getting the weapons. I was like, I don't care about the weapons doing more damage. I'd rather have more combos, and that's what I focused on. It's only after I beat the game, I then did my little magic and unlocked all the weapons, so I could have a little play around and notice if there was anything different. I didn't really notice much different. So, yeah. So, what else is there to say about the battle start thing, or whatever it's called? Yeah, that's about it, really. Again, it's just for items, unlocking combos, there's also rings. I forgot to say rings. So there's also rings. There are accessories that you can apply. They're very expensive, and I didn't buy any of them until the end of until after I'd beaten the game. Wish I had saved some of them, but then again, I was more focused on wanting to unlock all the combos I could possibly unlock. Yeah, so the rings basically, like, one of them increases your attack. One of them is when you kill one of those most powerful one, the vampiric ring. Basically, when you kill an enemy, restores a little bit of your health. But that doesn't really matter. Like, it wasn't many times when I died. I guess it helps out in higher difficulties, because you could switch between pretty much all the characters, like, besides the beginning of the game. But once all 4 characters become available, you could switch between them during missions. And if you're, let's say, you get to low health, let's say half health with one character, just switch to another. And while that other character switched out, it will slowly restore health. So yeah, so it's not a particularly... But that might be because I'm playing on normal difficulty, on hard difficulty. They might change the rules for that. I'm not too sure. It's possible. I don't know. But you go to different locations throughout the game, which is cool, I guess. Different countries. Yeah. trying to think what else is there to mention to say. So there's the coordinate mode, which I don't know why the hell it's called coordinate. It's basically like accessories mode. When you play through the game, by fulfilling certain little quests that you can do, it's basically like challenges. Kill X amount doing this, do this. So use it is kill 50 zombies. We'll probably use something like kill 50 zombies only using a dash attack. Do the so on and so forth. You unlock accessories that you can put on your characters. They could be anything from like devil horns to hairstyles to different outfits. If I want to have Kagura, which basically wears a like bikini throughout the entire game, wear the same outfit that Saki wears, which is like a gothic or Victorian style maid kind of outfit or something. I don't know how else to describe it. I can put that outfit on her if I so choose. And that's cool, you know, but it's not really something I really cared that much about at the end of the day. So there's that. You also have the stain mode as well, where so if you get too much zombie blood on you, you go into this like hyper mode, where you become more powerful, but your defense is lower, so you take damage easier, which is cool, fine, it's whatever. So yeah, there's also a gallery, but you unlock that once you beat the game. So yeah, to be honest with you, I'll put it, I'll put it out there. I'm just trying to list out the things. Like, if I enjoyed the game, don't get me wrong. The combat, the gameplay, it's good fun. It's not a very long game. I can't remember exactly how long it took me, but I know 6 hours, 5-6 hours, something like that. It's not a very long game at the end of the day. And if you're playing on normal, it's not that difficult of a game either. There's some fun bosses in there. You know, you got 4 playable characters that are quite unique. All 4 characters are fairly unique in how they play. And it's just dumb fun. Now, if you like hack and slash video games and you're a fan of those kind of things, you're a fan of Devil May Cry, you're a fan of, I don't know, Chaos Legion, I don't know. You like the old hack and slash games, even though, you know, may reference 7 Samurai 20XX. You'll probably like Onechanbara Z2 Chaos. Just don't pay too much attention to the story. Switch off to the story because it is just fucking shit, and just enjoy the combat. Enjoy the playing through the game. So the game does get a little bit difficult towards the end because they do like to throw multiple bosses at you in one fucking area, which is annoying, but it's all right. You can get through it. You don't get you don't get massively penalized for dying, so it's yeah. I don't know what else is there to say about Onechanbara Z2 Chaos. I enjoyed the game for what it is, and I would personally recommend it to someone who enjoys hack and slash video games, because it is dumb fun. And if you can pick it up on sale for real cheap, which if you get it on Steam, quite often it will be on sale for 75% off, which would make it very, very cheap. Unlike Origin, which is in my opinion an inferior game, but you know, whatever. I've only just started playing that, but it just doesn't feel as fun as Z2 Chaos. But maybe it'll grow on me. You can pick it up for real cheap, right? Which is what I did back in the day. I got it for 75% off during a sale because it looks like fun, but then I never got around to playing it. So I recently tried playing it for the first time, and I didn't really think much of it, but I thought I'll stick with it. And it did grow. This one grew on me, and I actually ended up getting into the combat and quite enjoying it. So I would honestly say, if you can, give it a chance. It's good fun. It's good dumb fun. That's all I can really say about it. It's dumb fun. So if you like dumb fun and you like hack and slash games, you'll like it. If not, then don't bother. Because unless you like those types of games, there's really no point playing this. Because again, the story is shit. It's no point. It is just boring. The banter between the main characters, that's the only interesting thing throughout the entire story. And even that is very minimal. It doesn't happen that much. Could have happened more if I could help, if I was the one behind making the game. But it is what it is. But I think I'm going to call it there. Again, I don't do ratings or whatever at the end of these videos. I'm not going to. I just basically state my case of why I like it. And and certain aspects about it I like. I try to explain elements of the game to the best of my ability, but again, I'm not. This is completely off script. I'm not scripted. I don't have bullet points. I don't have fuck all. I'm just winging it. I finished the game today, and I'm just winging it. So yeah. But anyway, I've been Bio. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.